And now I leave the floor to Dr. Christian Schulz, that will speak us about the technologies and the knowledge that is made available thanks to POLYBIOSKIN project. So please, Christian, can you share your presentation?
Hello, everyone. I hope at least my audio already works. So I will just jump into the presentation then, and hopefully everyone can see the slides now. We have to narrow down a bit maybe on what information has been gathered together by POLYBIOSKIN, because it has been a lot over the past 3 years, and has been a very nice experience also from my side. So thanks to all the partners to make this available, because we can only talk about the evolutions and that drive actually the industry when we have this fortune to have industry and research institutions work together in this very nice way in these European projects together. So I will just try to hurry up a bit on the technical innovations here so far that we've made, and especially for the overview, maybe that you get just in a glimpse of idea of the project partners. Here you can find the logos of all our partners with Iris here. I don't know if you can see my mouse pointer. Yes. Iris as our coordinator and having led us through the journey of these biodegradable products, but also, of course, like University of Pisa and the INSTM today hosting this session. Thanks a lot for that, and also for providing so many variable information on that. But we have also, of course, partners from France, for example, for the LCA. We will have later on the university at Armin for some overview on the LCA, which is also part of the project, because we want to have a full look at the full cycle of the technology and the impact it has. So this is also, of course, a topic here. Maybe just a few words about the association itself. European Bioplastics is about like 25 years old now. It's an industry association, but not only industry members are part of this network. Our commitment is actually to build and strengthen our supporting policy framework within the European Union. And this is not only to be done by industry, but of course this is something that the whole value chain needs to be in there. So we are consisting of lots of members also from the research background or from trade association. So in the founding date from like 1993 with 12 members, the development has gone now to a point where we have about 70 members, and networking on European Union is actually our main activities. And this is just a quick overview on what we are actually doing. We define ourselves as a small and medium enterprise. Even though we are an association, we see like working together in the industry and with the research partners is like we are at the cutting edge point and getting together. And so our activities are more or less just like gathering the insights and knowledge about our industry itself, because it's quite still even a small industry. And we are trying to get, of course, in the industry key positions and communicating about the results. For example, like today in these projects that we are involved in. But we are, of course, also representing our members' policy interests within the European community. And yeah, so you get a glimpse of idea. And one last point here is also that we are trying to establish other networks and establish or helping them them and supporting them in driving not only the evolution of bio-based plastics, but this is very cross-linked with the bioeconomy itself. So of course, this is something that we are also dealing with, building networks, like, for example, with the European Bioeconomy Alliance, consisting also of other partners from other bioeconomy industries, for example, like starch or paper industry, which are quite strong within Europe. Well, we have seen the short overview here already from Beatrice before. So the basic overview, actually, to sum it up a bit, is that we are going within POLYBIOSKIN for sanitary products, for cosmetics, and for wound care. Especially if you think about the diapers, we have the situation at the moment, as Beatrice also showed it, and this is also a very big focus being of POLYBIOSKIN, diapers which are at the moment non-degradable fossil-based products, and bringing in here like new technologies, not even for the from the raw material or from the raw material source itself, but also from new technologies developed for the super absorbent, for example, and the same is, or this can be adopted also, and we can see other developments here being made also for the for products like a beauty mask as a prototype, and another prototype which is a wound dressing material, like having also, as Beatrice already said, antimicrobial effects on wound dressings, helping there for the wound healing itself. If we have a look actually at our timeline, so to say, or where we come from, and a bit about our history, you can see that on the upper right that we started, of course, with the specification phase and tried to find out the right materials so far, and defining our target applications, which we have shown now before. And within the laboratory phase, of course, we encountered some issues, of course, within the scale-up, for example, like with the PHA materials, the polyhydroxyalkanoates are quite a big group here for the polymers. And so with the developments and the usage of new species producing PHB materials, for example, like is being an issue here for the scale-up itself. But we gladly, even though with some changes within the consortium itself, have now with Westminster University a very strong partner here, scaling up now with this new species from the microbiological production, so that we are reaching now a higher TRL level like before, and for the next step then, for the industrialization and the impact assessment itself, we are proudly now having these three prototypes that we discussed before, like the diapers, or being used also like in femcare products, the wound care and the beauty mask. And so at this point, after the validation, especially also for the biocompatibility, which is a quite big topic here, has been done greatly by INSTM. Here also carrying out various testings also, and making sure that the products in the end, at least at the moment, of course, the prototypes, but that the products itself in the end will be ready for the market. So for the regulation issues itself, we see there reaching like the all possibilities available. So of course, a bit of commercializing this now, but in case you're interested in the technology itself, of course, we are always happy to discuss this afterwards. So if there are some industry partners here who are interested in scaling this up even more, bringing it to the broader market into a product, then we would be very likely and happy to have you on board and discuss this with you. The next phase, of course, is now doing the life cycle assessment with all the scaling up now is, of course, a bit of an issue here. So we are, of course, looking forward for the next results of our partners, but please also keep there in mind that this all the results that we have gained so far for the life cycle assessment itself and the risk evaluation, of course, but more for the life cycle assessment, it is keep in mind here that the scale up will also provide even better impact, so to say, or a lowering of the impact, because we are still, of course, at a merge space, at a point of merging here into the market. So compared, of course, to like bigger industries that we have to compete with, like in the fossil-based industry, you have to, of course, admit or to have in mind that we will, of course, improve even from the good results that we will obtain so far. So, and of course, all of our data, well, not all of it, but the public parts is disseminated in a very open way. And of course, if you have any questions, then just come back at us. But you can also find everything available on our website. And maybe just one more point here. When we think about this, please keep also in mind that the aims and the leveling here, what we reached for is really a high aim. If you have a look here, we are happy to oblige that we oblige to reach 90% or even higher content of bio-based materials here. Biodegradability, of course, available, but not needing to be the main issue here, but of course is one of the main issues of the project. But we are happy to apply to have these levels of high bio-based content reached so far. So of course, this one is just to give you the overview itself. We have seen this already from Beatrice already. So thinking about the scenarios that we have here. I've discussed also so far for the prototypes we have. We do have, of course, different options compared to the fossil and the basic scenarios that we are comparing against. So, of course, having a look at, for example, for the diapers, we do have now a very new technology here with a super absorbent made of bio-based materials, reaching almost at the same levels that we have in comparable in diapers that we have from fossil-based super absorbents. So compared to this, of course, this can help us to find other solutions and options, like having even the options like incineration will have even better opportunities now with POLYBIOSKIN products, because we have carbon dioxide keeping within the loop, so to say, with a very high carbon-based content. We only have the release of this carbon into the atmosphere, what has been stored before within the product. So this helps, of course, to keep it on a low impact and help keep carbon in the cycle, even if we stick with already existing waste management systems like incineration, for example, which can also be a solution in some options here. So because of the remaining time, I might switch a bit to what we have discussed so far on the technical developments, especially the topics that we will see also later on a bit in the training session about the basic technologies, which are actually here the extrusion process and calendering, which are of course needed to produce the material itself and to obtain the better performing polybioskin materials from the extrusion, because even if you have the polymer material itself, of course you need to improve this and to have it adapted or adopted to the different application sectors that we have. For example, like the diapers, compared to wound healing materials, they need different treatment here. So especially for the production of the films and of the sheets itself, this is of course one topic here, and a very new one, and at least new to polybioskin and bringing in this to bio-based materials is the electrospinning here, allowing us to bring us down to producing fibers of the properties that we really need, especially when we think about like the top sheet and the surface modifications that can be obtained from this, and the other topics that will be also discussed later on from INSTM are the mechanical properties and how they are being tested, and of course a bit look inside on the biocompatibility testing. So when we think about what the outcome actually is of the project itself, we have of course seen what Beatrice has shown us so far, but I would like to put more the focus here on the availability of the results so far in the public available publication here. For example, like the flat die extrusion process and the developments we have been made so far, like in the blend process that we produced in polybioskin from the PLA and the PBS material. So all these results, or all the publications are available for free, because they are under open access policy. So as Beatrice said before, we gathered all this together, and I will just jump over a few and the next few slides a bit, because we have seen them already. Here you can see also again the different prototypes that we produced, but I would like also to lay a bit the focus on one of our coming up special issue publication with combining a bit the highlights, so to say, of the polybioskin project here and the developments we have been made so far. This are being published within the Journal of Functional Biomaterials. This is as a special issue showing the development and the journey that we have been going through polybioskin. So you can find there, for example, more information on the biosuper absorbent and how it has been developed, but also going through the developments, for example, like the skin contact applications made from pullulan. So like the basic information about it, also from the compatibility over the biocompatibility, and going on to the different processing mechanisms that have been adapted within polybioskin. For example, like within the electrospinning for the polyhydroxyalkanoate, for the PHB material, actually for the wound dressing, but also thinking about the modification of the different blend materials like the PLA and PBS materials, and also because we needed to adapt a bit within polybioskin on the analysis. So we of course have an overview here on the spectral analysis of the functional films and textiles, but also of course on the nano material developments here, especially when you think about the nanocellulose which can also be a bit can be help us within the wound healing prototypes, for example, for the taking up of different for releasing detergents into the wound itself to help or to support the healing itself. So there will be also a book coming from it, a digital publication, probably being available by autumn in this year, depending on with the finishing now of POLYBIOSKIN by the end of August. There might be, of course, a bit of reviews or internal processes going on, but this will be, of course, available in 2020. And of course, one thing I just wanted to mention, of course, because you've seen the hashtag downwards on the down right of these slides, is also our social media activity. So please link to us and sign up for it. And leading a bit over now to where you can also find all available publications here within or from POLYBIOSKIN is on our website at polybioskin.eu. Please be aware that we still have this as a non secured website. We're working on this, but at the moment, if you try to access it, please make sure that you have this HTTP without an S in the beginning, so you can access everything on there. There you can find also the training center that we are going to have a look now within the presentation, and switching over, and I hope you can see it a bit now from here. I just give you a quick glimpse. You can find everything that is available from POLYBIOSKIN here at the info center, but also the training center, of course, but this will be some within the next presentation. From the info center itself, you can find from within our recent activities, you can find, but also all publications that have been made so far, at least when they are publicly available, of course, but this is the case for most of our publications. So you can also see, of course, the list of history of all our events. At the moment, of course, unfortunately, still only online events, but more links and videos about the project itself can be also found on our website. So this is just a quick overview on our publications so far and where you can find it, and all other informations are made available here. And in case you have any questions, of course, please type them now in the chat box, or if you have any questions later on or want to, for example, get into the market with our technologies itself, then please don't hesitate and contact us. So thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Christian, for your nice presentation regarding also the materials available from